Greetings, my dearest friend. You know me as Gloriana, the Virgin Queen, the sovereign who defied kings, popes, and her own heart. But before I was your queen, I was merely a girl born into a storm, shaped by betrayal, politics, and a hunger for power greater than any woman before me dared to dream. Come, let me tell you the truth of it all. From cradle to crown, from shadow to glory. My name is Queen Elizabeth I, and this is my life, as I lived it. The daughter of the axe. I was born on the 7th of September, 1533, at Greenwich Palace. My father, King Henry VIII, had prayed for a son. Instead, he got me, Elizabeth, daughter of Anne Boleyn, his second wife. My birth was met not with celebration, but with silent disappointment. My mother, clever and ambitious, had gambled everything on giving England a male heir. When she failed to do so, her fate was sealed. I was not yet 3 when she was executed, beheaded in the Tower of London on trumped-up charges of adultery and treason. From that moment, I became a bastard in the eyes of the court, stripped of my title, and thrust into a perilous world. But I remembered her dark eyes, her fierce spirit. I would carry them with me all my life. The education of a queen. If I could not be a prince, I would be a scholar. My guardians saw to it that I was educated like no other woman in England. I devoured Latin and Greek, learned French, Italian, and Spanish. I read philosophy, history, theology. I wrote poetry and translated classical texts. Roger Ascham, my tutor, said I had the mind of a man. I understood early that knowledge was my armor. While others danced and flirted at court, I studied. For in a world where women were pawns in dynastic games, I would become a player. The terrors of Thomas Seymour. My teenage years were spent in the household of my stepmother, Catherine Parr. After King Henry's death, she married Thomas Seymour, a charming, ambitious man, and a dangerous one. He would come to my chambers at dawn, tickle me, flirt with me in ways I did not yet understand. Though I was only 14, I sensed something wrong, something dark. When Catherine died in childbirth, Seymour sought to marry me, but his motives were not love. He sought power. My interrogations during the scandal that followed nearly ruined me. From that ordeal I learned to trust no man blindly, to speak little, and to guard my reputation as I would a kingdom. Sister, rival, queen. When my brother Edward VI died in 1553, the crown passed to my sister Mary, daughter of Catherine of Aragon. She was a devout Catholic, and I, though I outwardly conformed, was known to be Protestant. Mary saw me as a threat. When rebellions rose against her reign, she suspected me of conspiracy. I was imprisoned in the Tower, in the very same rooms where my mother had awaited her death. I shall never forget the cold walls, the crows on the parapet, or the fear that each footstep meant my end. But they never found proof, and I was released to house arrest at Woodstock. I survived Mary's reign of fire, 5 years of burnings and executions. And then, on November 17, 1558, she died. I was 25, and England was mine, the weight of the crown. They crowned me at Westminster Abbey on a cold January day in 1559. As the golden crown touched my head, the weight of centuries pressed upon me. I was a woman in a man's world, the ruler of a kingdom riven by religious hatred and foreign threats. The first thing I did, I walked the line between Protestant and Catholic with grace. I restored the Church of England but kept some trappings of the old faith to appease both sides. I called it the middle way, not weakness, but survival. Every day, they asked me when I would marry, but I would not be ruled by any man, not a king, not a prince, not even love. The marriage question. Oh, how they speculated. Philip of Spain, Eric of Sweden, Archduke Charles of Austria, they all courted me from afar. But none would win my hand. Why? Because I was already married, to England. That is not to say I did not love. Robert Dudley, my childhood friend, was my closest companion and perhaps my great love. But he was married, and scandal clung to him like fog. To marry would be to lose power, to make my kingdom a dowry. And so I remained the Virgin Queen, more symbol than woman, more sovereign than soul. The Mary, Queen of Scots affair. If I had a mirror across the sea, it was Mary Stuart, Queen of Scots. Catholic, impulsive, beautiful, she claimed my throne as her own. When she fled to England in 1568, I offered her protection. But she brought with her conspiracies, plots, and the threat of Catholic rebellion. For 19 years, I kept her under watch. And then came the Babington plot. Letters intercepted, plans revealed. Mary had sanctioned my assassination. With great reluctance, I signed the death warrant. On February 8, 1587, she was executed. I wept. She had been a queen, and she had been kin. But England came first. The Spanish Armada. The great test of my reign came in 1588. Philip of Spain sent a mighty fleet, the Armada, to crush me and restore Catholic rule. They said England would fall, but I rode to Tilbury in armor and gave my people words they would never forget. I know I have the body of a weak and feeble woman, but I have the heart and stomach of a king, and of a king of England too. The winds favored us, the Armada scattered, England triumphed, and so did I. Gloriana and the Golden Age. After the Armada, my legend grew. They called it the Elizabethan Age, a time of exploration, poetry, and power. William Shakespeare wrote plays that captured the soul of England. Francis Drake circled the globe. My court became the envy of Europe, a place of splendor, wit, and fierce loyalty. Yet I was often alone. My court was filled with suitors and flatterers, but no equals. I aged, my face lined, my hair thinned, but I wore pearls and painted cheeks like armor. I was not merely a woman, I was an idea, the sunset of a queen. In the final years, I buried those dearest to me. Robert Dudley died, my cousin Essex rebelled and was executed. My body weakened, though my will did not. I paced the palace halls, sleepless, haunted by ghosts. The laughter of youth had faded, replaced by whispers and shadows. On March 24, 1603, I lay still. I had ruled for 44 years. I had brought peace, stability, and glory to England. And when I died, I passed the crown to James VI of Scotland, unifying the kingdoms at last. My legacy. They buried me in Westminster Abbey, beside my sister Mary. How strange, that we, so different in life, should lie together in death. But I left behind something greater than blood, a nation transformed. I was not born to rule. I was not born to survive. But I did both. I was Elizabeth Regina. I was your queen. And that's another chapter from the pages of history, proof that the past is filled with legends, leaders, and visionaries who shaped the world we live in today. But history is far from over. There are still so many incredible stories to uncover. So if you enjoyed this journey through time, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to History's Icons for more legendary tales. Who or what should we explore next? Let me know in the comments. Your idea might be the next great story we bring to life. Thanks for watching, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next episode of History's Icons, where the past comes to life.